So it was 1994. My country, Rwanda, had two main tribes, Hutu and Tutsis. Hutu were always the majority, about 80% of the whole country. And Rwanda is a small country, as you know, small as the size of Maryland state. But we were always overpopulated, about 8 million. But somehow, from the time of colonialization, which can be another whole book, and I explained a little bit in the book, from the time of the colonization, we had problems between two tribes. The first war that was waged against Tutsis was 1959. The second was 1973, and the last was meant to eliminate everybody was 1994. And no one ever punished anyone who did anything. Like the first war, the first killings, because it was always the same people who were ruling the country, who always had the power. So in 1994, I was a student, just like you. Actually, I look at you, my heart goes to you because many of you are students here, and just to remember the innocence. I know you work hard in school, but there's a lot of trouble outside of school. And just remember how you protected by your parents and the government will give you scholarship. You don't care much about anything else, and all of a sudden, your innocence won't protect you. I go home, and something like that happened. And really, when I share with you, I don't want to tell you that you're going to go through a genocide, but I know that what I went through, the lessons I learned, is what you can always use, even going through any little problem in life. And we all go through something. So that time, I was in school, in university, and I went home for Easter holiday. When I went there, 3 days after, I remember this morning that changed completely everything I knew, my life, never expected it. My brother, who had just finished a master's degree, came to my room and told me that the president of the country had died. And I remember getting up and screaming, and like, oh my God, I can't believe, because they are going to kill us. And why I said that, that's really meaningful to me. Well, and I remember my brother saying, why do you think they're going to kill us? But before that, there was radio, we call hate radio, that used to say how Tutsis are cockroaches, snakes, and how one day they're going to eliminate us. And the journalists, they used to make themselves like drunk, like they're drinking beer, say all nasty jokes that really attracted young people to listen to that radio. So you can feel that it was time. Another thing, since I'm speaking to Catholic school, there is something that happened in Rwanda, I'm writing about it. The Blessed Mother have appeared in Rwanda in 1981, and Vatican have approved it in 2001. So this is really the apparition that on the level of Fatima or Lourdes. I remember one time I was there when she was speaking to this lady, and she told her that many people, and I'm saying this just to convey a message, she said that many people were praying that one person in the country dies, and we all knew who it was. We were all praying for the president to die because we knew he was a bad guy. He was a dictator, he was killing people, and we were praying. I can remember where, I know who you're talking about. And she said, do you realize, my children, which kind of prayer you are addressing to God for one of his children to die? She said, instead, pray for that person to change. And she said, giving the message to the visionaries, she said, do you know what can happen if that person dies? She said it 3 times. And I heard that Jewish moms, when they say something 3 times, you are in trouble. She is the ultimate Jewish mom. So and I was there, and I knew that, and I kept it in mind. And when they told me the president died, I knew something horrible was going to happen. So I remember coming out of the room, I went outside, we were speaking, talking with my parents. We were scared, we didn't know what was going to happen. And in about 1 day, 2 days, around my home, we had about 10,000 people trying to find out from my parents what they're going to do. And I'm so grateful I was lucky to have parents who really cared so much about the whole village, the whole community. I remember we used to send children to school, we used to be counseling families around and at no cost. And my dad was director of Catholic schools, my mom was a teacher, and somehow people trusted them. They thought that they can tell them what is going on in the country. So when things were really getting bad, my father came to me and he told me that he thinks I should go to hide. And I remember refusing. I didn't want to go. What if something happens to you? But he insisted. And I remember him saying, this is an order. I'm not discussing with you. You just have to go because I'm your father and I'm telling you this. So I looked at him and said, okay, I will go, but I really don't want to go. And I hope you don't make a mistake. So I left. And before I left, I never forgot that he handed me a rosary, red and white rosary. And that was the last gift I got from him. And I had a scapular. For those who know the scapular, a scapular was something I got. I don't see that much more anymore on scapulars I see today. But what was written on that scapular was that if you die wearing that scapular, in a state of grace, that you will go to heaven Saturday after your death. That the Blessed Mother will come to take you from purgatory, even if you die Friday night. It really said so. So I remember having it. I'm like, who is going to die in my family? My mom, my dad, my brother? Who can I save more? And I gave it to my father. And I remember he took it. That was the last moment we were exchanging. He took it and looked at it and he said, what is this? I told him about it. And he said, oh, so put it in the house. That house, I have just finished building it maybe for the whole past 10 years. We planned it. This was his last house he was going to build, and he had just finished it 2 years before. A beautiful home he planned to retire in. He said, put it in the house so that no one will destroy it. This genocide has taught me so many lessons. You know, when you give all your efforts to something like that, and then it can go in a second, in 2 minutes. And I remember telling him, no, don't you think this is your life? Put it on you. What if you die? This is about you, not about who cares about the house. And for the first time, my dad listened to me. He said, oh, okay. And he put it on. And I knew my job was done, and I ran, and I left the house. It took me 30 minutes to go where he sent me, to go to hide. I remember looking at my mom, like, oh, I don't even want to talk to her. Because I knew that the last moment will not be that easy to say bye. I went to this man who was a Protestant pastor. And you know, when even through genocide, you can still see through and see who is the good person who might not change. And I really encourage you, please never judge everybody in a group. Don't never generalize and think that if somebody is bad, like the whole group is bad, the whole country is bad, the whole tribe is bad, the whole race is bad. It's such a mistake we make, because somehow God can use those same people to save you if you judging them as a group and you fail to see what is good from that and you victimize so many people. So I was so glad that, and I was shocked actually, that my parents chose a Hutu person, and yet this is the time when they're killing us. And remember they said, even if things change, he won't be able to kill. Go there. I'm like, that's nice, that at least they can show me that I don't have to mistrust everyone. I went to his home. When I got there, he put me to sit around 3 o'clock in the morning to sit in a bathroom, small bathroom, 3 by 4 feet. I remember he went back, he brought 5 more women. Later, he brought 2 more women. We were 8 people in this tiny bathroom, 3 by 4. The first time he told us, don't talk to each other, don't make a noise, don't do anything so that no one will know that you are here, because he won't even tell his own children. Now that he doesn't know his children, but in times like that, you really don't trust anyone. Somebody can just tell somebody else, and then the news can go. So we're supposed to be quiet. And I remember he said, it might last 3 to 4 days, but you have to be quiet. We sat there, thank God. I remember he said also that don't flush the water of the bathroom until somebody else is flushing the water in the next bathroom. It was the only house in the whole village that had 2 bathrooms inside the house. And it was back to back. So anytime somebody will flush the water in the next bathroom, we will also pull it at the same time. So we have to be listening to what was going on out. We didn't know each other with the ladies. We were just sitting there. But the great thing also is that once you know that you are human beings and you are facing the same challenge, You don't need to know the names. You don't need to know who is who. You just know that you are same people, you know you feel the same thing, and that is enough. She said,